may be a few pockets of freezing temperatures first thing tomorrow morning, places like Llano, for instance. Another cold one, but this is nothing compared to where we're heading. Where are we heading? Well, after a gorgeous day ahead tomorrow, all the way up to 76 degrees, then comes the Arctic cold front. Doesn't look like much right now, but this front just needs an extra push from an upper level disturbance, which will be happening during the daytime hours tomorrow and reaching us on Friday. You can track the front and the precipitation, by the way, with our CBS Storm Tracker weather app. So plenty of cold air, and all it has to do is make its way into central Texas. To give you an idea, tomorrow's 70s, and then by late Friday, 39. I have actually lifted that temperature up a little bit. This time yesterday, I was thinking it would be mid-30s. Instead, I now think the free fall will be a little more gradual, but by 4 to 6 p.m. on Friday, 39 degrees. What about precip? In Austin, it should just be light rain, but take a look at this. Possibility, once the front rolls in first thing Friday, that some of this pink corresponding to sleet might potentially affect some of you in the hill country. So don't be shocked. No accumulation expected, but yep, a touch of sleet mixing in with light rain possible. Now let's talk about wind. Cold front barrels through behind it, winds gust in a big way. Nearly 30-mile-per-hour gusts possible by lunchtime out in the hill country, and the peak gusts might actually be in the evening hours. Look at this, 41-mile-per-hour gusts possible Friday evening in San Marcos. Now let's talk about when the temperatures bottom out. Here we are, Saturday morning. We could see upper 20s to low 30s area-wide. I've highlighted the wind chills. It may feel like mid-20s nearly in mid-March. As for the amount of rain we get, doesn't look like a lot. Heavier off to the east. Finally, though, we're going to be able to climb out of the cold once the front pushes through, once temperatures bottom out, and we see high temperatures by Sunday. After a very cold stretch from Friday through Saturday, back up to around 70 degrees. By the way, don't forget to spring forward your clocks, and once we do that, temperatures next week are looking quite spring-like. We'll be right back. So you expect nothing less than more wild weather, right? Tomorrow, spring 70s. Friday, winter free fall. Just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. So far this season, we have had 16 freezes at Camp Mabry. The average is 12, so we've already had more than a typical winter. The average late is February 15th and Saturday, March 12th. A widespread freeze for everyone. Nearly a month behind schedule for Camp Mabry anyway. The record latest in April. So we're not going to set records, but it is definitely not going to be, well, enjoyable. We'll leave it at that. Temperature right now, 51 degrees. High earlier made it to 62. Actually turned into a beauty of a day. There are some spots like Dripping Springs as well as out at the airport that have dropped into the 30s right now. There may be a few pockets of freezing temperatures first. Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing great. Mac, hello to you. So here we are. I know it's technically already Thursday, but I'm finally kind of getting around to doing the usual chat. So thank you so much for joining in. All right, let's talk about what to expect. I'm Chicago Windler, and this is another edition. Hey Sally, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for checking in. So another edition of Chicks Chats. So the big story is this upcoming Arctic cold front that's going to be pushing through. Kevin, how you doing? You know what? Skipper was just in my lap about 5 seconds ago, and as soon as I fired up the stream, he's like, I'm going to go back downstairs. So he is no longer with us, and Ewok didn't even bother. He didn't even come up here. So big story is just going to be the huge temperature tumble that is on the way. So here's what to expect. Temperatures outside right now are pretty chilly. There are some 30s in a few pockets already, and we're going to wake up to around 39 degrees in Austin. There could be a light freeze in some of the coldest spots by morning. But overall, we're going to have a nice, warm, comfortable afternoon. Thursday's high temperatures soaring up to 76 degrees. Hey, Parker, how you doing? Brian, how's it going in Minnesota? My guess is it's very cold. I saw some single digits in parts of the northern plains, upper Midwest, into the northern Rockies, courtesy of this latest blast of cold air. All right, so the cold front is going to be pushing through in the morning on Friday, likely pre-dawn. So I've revised temperatures a little bit from what I was talking about yesterday. Yesterday, I thought we would be perhaps as cold as the low 40s, low to mid 40s by daybreak. Now I'm closer to 50 degrees for your sunrise temperature on Friday. Temperatures still falling into the 30s by late afternoon, early evening, but it might not be quite as abrupt and quite as quick of a process as I was originally thinking. We're also going to see a few showers around. Some of those showers in the hill country, still that small possibility of just a touch of sleet. Shouldn't be a big deal at all, shouldn't accumulate. It's also going to be quite windy, so just be prepared for winds that could be 25 miles per hour sustained with gusts even higher still. Parker says they aren't thinking it'll snow in Ruidoso on Friday. Oh, they are thinking it will snow. Gotcha. Yeah, it's cold stuff. Andy, hello. Thanks for checking in tonight on a late night. Always amazed when so many people are up at midnight 30 or whatever it is. Then we see a hard freeze across central Texas. Saturday morning, 31 degrees is what I'm forecasting in Austin with wind chills in the 20s. High temperatures, though, do bump up to near 60 degrees by late day on Saturday. We spring forward, time change, Sunday morning, 2 a.m., we lose an hour of sleep. Behind that, look at this, spring-like warmth. We should see temperatures in the 70s and even the 80s for much of spring break week. So things are going to be looking pretty nice. All right, so let's take a look at temperatures right now. Huge contrast. We've got 34, which anytime you wonder, why is it so much colder at the airport than it is at Camp Mabry? The difference is elevation. ABIA is actually in a valley. It's a sheltered valley that's a low-lying area. So anytime winds are light and skies are clear, I hear doggies. They're going to make a ruckus. You want to hop up here? Nope, they're just going to play. They have TREATs. I see them. But anytime you have relatively clear skies and light winds, the temperatures can be starkly different between the airport, which is currently 34, and Camp Mabry, which is 46 degrees. Generally, Camp Mabry has the influence of like the greenhouse effect and the urban heat island, if you will. It's warmer in and closer to the city center. It's much colder in rural areas and outlying spots, aka the airport, Del Valley, Elroy, much less population, much less heat to hold in. So that's why the difference is going on there. Georgetown, you're at 37. It's 34 in Fredericksburg. So by no means are we warm right now, but it's going to be much, much colder once that cold front reaches us. Temperatures area-wide, not too bad. Even in Amarillo, it's currently still in the 40s. So it's been much colder there before. Temperature-wise, we hit 62 at Camp Mabry, 61 at the airport earlier today. So still unseasonably cool, but I don't know about you. I thought it felt pretty fantastic. Crisp, cool, comfortable, sunny. It was lovely. Another thing that was kind of nice to see is the fact that the cedar count, which had been high, dropped to low. We also had low counts of elm, grass, as well as mold. Oh, by the way, one other consideration with the windy weather that we're going to see come Friday. Curious to see what that'll do to the pollen counts as well, although we'll offset that with a little bit of rain. We actually need the rain. Look at this month we've only had 6/100ths of an inch of precipitation. That puts us 3/4 of an inch below average for the month of March. And we're still running a little bit of a deficit for the year so far, despite the fact that we had a rather wet start. All right, ready or not, here it comes. Spring for Thursday, winter for Friday, a strong cold front on the way. By the way, fun little tidbit for you. 16, that's how many freezes we've had so far this season. The average for Camp Mabry is 12. Well, let's make that 17 on Saturday, which will be 5 above average by then. The average latest freeze for Camp Mabry is February 15th, so we're going to be almost a month beyond that. Incidentally enough, remember how I told you about the contrast between Camp Mabry and the airport? Average latest freeze for the airport is March 13th. So incidentally enough, almost right on schedule there, assuming it's the last one, which I don't think it will be. I think the airport can see a freeze March 12th on Saturday morning and again March 13th on Sunday morning. And maybe that'll be the last one. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, not a record latest. The record latest freeze for Austin, April 9th, 1914. All right, outside right now, let's see, 12:24 in the a.m. It is cool, as mentioned. Camp Mabry, 46 degrees, the temperature. And of course, outlying spots a little bit colder. Any areas that have seen the winds go relatively light, Dripping Springs, for instance. Look at that, 33 degrees right now. Likely to see a few spotty areas dip down to freezing or close to. Call it another cold one by daybreak with clear skies and generally light winds in place. Meantime, here's your Thursday planner. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Sunshine from morning to afternoon. High temperature up to 76 beautiful degrees. It's going to be nice. I encourage you to get out and enjoy. Meantime, we talked about the Arctic cold front, dun dun dun, on its way. Well, right now, here it is. It's stalled. What's it going to take to get it down here? An upper level disturbance going to kind of kick it to the south, and when it does, it will be, well, very easy to note because we will have gusty winds, falling temperatures, and some precipitation as well. You will note it is snowing currently in portions of Kansas, Nebraska, and adjacent areas. So that is our next cold front. It gets here early on Friday. Just to give you the lay of the land, Brian up in Minnesota, let's see, 11 degrees in Minneapolis, St. Paul right now. Bismarck, North Dakota is 4. It's 5 right now in Billings. So yeah, definitely a chill in the air. How about Denver, Colorado? 5 degrees. And we're not even talking wind chills. These are actual temperatures. Just because I can, I'm curious. So I'm going to check and see what the wind chills are. Let's plot the feels like temperatures, shall we? Just to get an idea of how cold it feels. Yep, feels like single digits below 0. These are wind chills. From Denver to Billings, sub-0 chills. I kid you not, March can be a beast, and we're definitely looking at some beastly cold with that system. All right, so for us, 76 Thursday afternoon. I didn't change that at all. Hey, mister, come say hi. We got the Walkster. Hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. Where's your brother? We got a Walker sighting. I'm so glad to have you here. How's it going? He says, I'm good. Thanks for checking in. Look how scruffy he is. He has they both have a grooming appointment next week, and I can't wait because both of them are shaggy as dogs. But it's so cute, and yes, we love you with all our hearts. So anyway, Walker sighting. Maybe we'll get a Skipper sighting in a little bit as well. Wouldn't that be good? Always nice to see the boys. All right, so we're back to the graphics, and Friday, if you were watching yesterday, I'd said mid-30s by afternoon. I upped it just a little bit. I went to 39 degrees. So we'll see how that all plays out. Brian says my run on Friday should be nice with 39 degrees. Well, as it works out, I've been running every other day, so I'm running tomorrow when it's warm. And I will be taking the day off on Friday when it's cold. But I can't wait to get out there Saturday, hopefully enjoying lighter winds because it's going to be so gusty on Friday as well. Hey, speaking of Friday, here is your Friday forecast. So temperatures dropping through the day. Typically, we see temperatures warm as we get into the afternoon. It will be just the opposite. And you can see possibilities of rain through the morning hours as well. Not just cold, just like blustery as well. All right, so let's take a look at the precipitation end of this equation. Here we are at daybreak. The cold front is moving right through the Austin area. And as you can see, this pink corresponding to some sleet, this white corresponding to some snow. So Parker, you are correct. New Mexico is likely to get some snow. As this drops down to the south, let me go ahead and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Those of you in the hill country, say it ain't so. Could there be a bit of sleet? Perhaps so. Take a look. Mason, Gillespie, Llano counties. Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, we've seen sleet in 50s. Why not sleet in 40s and 30s? And even ever so slight chance that there might be a couple sleet pellets mixed in Austin, but I think the best possibility is going to be through the hill country. Just know, Friday, late morning, early afternoon, not just rain, totally a possibility. All right, then it all moves out, and we are totally dry by Friday night. By the way, there's going to be a good amount of snow in other areas too. Let's take a look at how far this snow swath could stretch. Behind that cold front, we could see snow from northeast Texas through Arkansas, across Missouri, portions of southern Illinois and Indiana, into northern sections of Tennessee and Kentucky, through the Ohio Valley, up into the Great Lakes, and all the way to Quebec. So yeah, it's going to be a system and then some. And then on the southern side of things, we're talking storms. Okay, let's talk about the wind. Cold front pushes through around daybreak on Friday. Behind it, winds are going to pick up in a real hurry. You will definitely know when the front rolls through. So much so that by lunchtime, we could already have gusts in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. hold on to your hats. And of course, if you have any furniture or lightweight stuff, trash cans, it's going to be a trash can alert. There are going to be some trash cans down by afternoon and into the early evening. That's when the winds are expected to be the highest. Look at this. San Marcos could see winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Possibly a wind advisory to be put into effect. We'll have to wait and see on that. Parker says not sure how to drive in the mountains. Oh, hadn't thought about that with the elevations factor. Well, carefully and slowly. Brian says you're a founding member. Oh, that's awesome. We love that. Appreciate it, Brian. All right, now let's talk about the chill. I mentioned that we'd have a widespread freeze on Saturday morning for all of our area. But then, even though the winds won't be quite as strong as they'll be on Friday, Saturday morning, I still think we'll probably have sustained winds around 10 miles per hour, gusts even higher. So that means wind chills will make it feel like 5 to as much as 10 degrees colder than the actual air temperature. So I figured I'd make it super obvious. Bright blue, wind chills. All right, so how cold will it feel? It could feel like 24 in Austin. It could feel like 21 in Mason. It could feel like 24 in LaGrange. And we're talking March 12th. So you guys just hunker down. We got this. It's not going to be fun, but we got this. In terms of if it's all rain, which for most areas it will be all rain. If there's any sleet, it's not going to accumulate anyway. It's not exactly a blockbuster weather maker. I will say the last couple of times we've had rain chances, they've far underperformed. So for the most part, looking like we'll probably see 1/4 of an inch or less of precipitation, all wrapping up by about 4 o'clock on Friday, and then we're dry after that. Let's take another perspective. This is a different computer model. Same idea though. Temperatures falling to around 50 by daybreak on Friday. Cooler in the hill country where Mason could already be down to about 40 by sunrise on Friday. And then the temperatures fall. So by 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, we're talking upper 30s for temperatures, but by then the precipitation is gone. And then we continue to see temps free falling all the way down into the low 30s by Saturday morning. Good news though, we do climb up pretty nicely up to near 60 degrees by later in the day. So here's your temperature trend. The big day to watch is Friday. Falling, falling, and falling. And as mentioned, the rain and the wind probably won't make it feel that great either. And honestly, that's the only time I've got a rain chance in the forecast right there. Friday, 50%, with the highest potential for rain and highest totals out east. The least, the farther west you go. Parker says, is this the last of the cold fronts? Probably not the last of the cold fronts. There's actually going to be a weak one that comes through on Monday, but it's not a strong front. And there's also going to be another one that might come through late on St. Patrick's Day next week. Brian says, you made chicken broccoli hot dish. Yum. Oh my gosh. Today, my husband and I were craving tater tots like nobody's business. For those of you who are not familiar with the delicacy known as hot dish, I did not know about it until I moved to Minnesota, but it's so good. Tater tot casserole essentially is what hot dish is. You can put any type of toppings and stuff you want, but then you top it with tater tots in a casserole dish. And you throw cheese on it, and there's just all kinds of variations. Oh, so good. Like, I love hot dish. Anyway, I digress. Parker says, I don't want summer, but just 70 degrees during the day. I'm with you. I would love that too. We would love to have Goldilocks weather. Francisco, buenas noches to you. Hope you are doing well on this late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. So yet again, this has been a consistent thing all week long where the GFS computer model on the left-hand side, the American model, has been less in terms of rainfall. And the European computer model on the right-hand side has been more. But in general, the European computer model has been the outlier, and most of the computer models kind of agree with the GFS. So we're going to lean, let me find, I'm going to make this official. We're going to lean towards this as the most likely scenario. And we're going to, for now, say that's a little too much. So we'll leave it at that. All right, now let's end this with a look at the temperature trend. March 18th through 24th, right on the edge in Austin. Warmer than average to the north, right around average to the south, but hey, at least not colder, right? And in terms of precipitation chances, at this point during that stretch, March 18th through 24th, lo and behold, drier weather. is the trend. All right, so you got all the pieces. You're ready for the cold. Basically, if we could just kind of ignore Friday through Saturday morning, the rest of this forecast is pretty awesome, I think. Then we, of course, spring forward. And after that, spring warmth is with us. But when Parker was asking, are there any more fronts? I know you're down in San Antonio, but very similar. Weak front's going to come through on Monday. At this point, it looks like all it's going to do is really shift our winds, and it might be a little bit humid on Monday and then very low humidity on Tuesday. So basically, at this point, I don't see any strong cold fronts after we get through this little bout of cold air that we currently are talking about. So there you have it. You can always check the weather on our website, cbsaustin.com/weather. Hourly forecast. You can also check out our weather app. It is free in the App Store. Those of you on the YouTube